Hello to you, Eileen here. This is the first of 3 video tutorials for you. One today, one tomorrow, Saturday, and another one on Sunday. The Saturday and Sunday videos will be Lavinia stamps, and today I'm featuring visible image stamps and also Sweet Poppy Stencils, brand new shapes stencil, or stencils. There's a few of them. This is the card that I'm going to show you how to make, and I've really had a lot of fun, and I'm planning to spend all day today using these shapes in conjunction with visible image stamps, and I will post all that I've made today on my Facebook page. Let me show you the shapes stencils. They're pretty basic but going to be so useful. This is the square. Then I have a slim triangle. Maybe, I don't know if you can see. Can you see it okay? Oh, yeah. Then we have one that is, to be polite, is a wider triangle, or it's fat. And then I've got a circle. These are going to be so useful. I'm going to be using them today, and hopefully you'll see all my efforts this evening. So I started off with these two. This is the square. Now, when I apply this, I'm going to use a magnetic sheet when I apply it to the cardstock, but it will save me using tape, because obviously it's giving me the border, and I don't have to use tape, low-tack tape, to create that border. Not in this instance anyway. More of that in a moment. And I'm also using this one, the triangle. These have just been loaded onto the Sweet Poppy Stencils website. So you'll see them there. They're selling them singularly, or they're doing a set of the 4. Let's get cracking. Now I'm layering this card because I want it to have a really quite a large card base. So I'm using a topper, and this is Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth cardstock, 300 GSM, and I've cut it to 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres. I've got my magnetic mat here that is stuck down onto a self-healing mat. Bit of copy paper, and because I'll be inking and I don't want to put it all over the magnetic sheet. And then I'm using this first one, which is the square. So I'm just lining it up. I think next time I cut this, I'm going to ensure that I cut the cardstock to exactly fit the stencil. As you can see, there's a bit of a border all the way around, but the next one I'm going to cut to exactly fit this stencil, which looks to me as if it's about 14.5 centimetres square. Down onto the mat, onto the magnetic sheet, and I'm using some makeup brushes. The smaller ones are from Sweet Poppy Stencils, and this larger one, it was from Amazon, I believe, although it was a gift to me by a really lovely friend of mine. And but Sweet Poppy will be getting in some of these larger brushes. And I've got another one here from Sweet Poppy Stencil. And starting off, I'm just checking to see what colours. I never clean my brushes. I just wipe them off onto some... Oh, that's my campfire colour, and that must be... Right, okay. Sorry, where was I? Yes, I never clean my brushes. I don't put them anywhere near water. I just rub off the ink onto some textured kitchen towel. I'm using Speckled Egg today. There's a surprise. Crackling Campfire. I'm in love with this one as well. There's a new one out soon too, isn't there? And also Tumbled Glass. They're all distress inks. Starting off with the Tumbled Glass, and I'm using the Sweet Poppy makeup brush, just taking a bit of it off, and the just seeing how wet this pad is. So the copy paper I will use to take some of the ink off. And then just very gently, very loose action, kissing over the top of the cardstock, just skimming across the surface, not grinding it into the cardstock at all. And in fact, now I'm not even going to bother to take some of the ink off. I'm putting more pressure on because this pad isn't as wet as I thought it was. And I do need to see a bit of colour, but I don't want it to be too overpowering. So it's a very pale layer of Tumbled Glass. Not all over, about 2/3. To be honest, you can stick it anywhere you like. It doesn't really matter for this technique. Here, there and all over the place. That's Tumbled Glass. Then I'm moving on to Crackling Campfire. Now this is a fairly new pad, so I really got to be careful of this because this is, woof, in your face, this colour. It is beautiful. Using the larger brush for this. And just, again, skimming across. And you'll get a greenish tone as it hits the blue. It's nice. Not a very good blend, to be honest, doesn't matter. Just anywhere you want again, just filling in the gaps. So that you've got a nice crisp edge all the way around. There's colour all the way around. So the square will be totally defined and when I take the stencil away. And I think I'll have a little bit more blue, some more Tumbled Glass. Just to fill in a few more gaps. I mean, this is sort of hazy colours, you know, it looks wispy. It's not a really solid look. It's just wispy, just a wispy background. Right. And there it is, you see, and the borders of this are slightly narrower than if you use tape, but it really, to me, it doesn't really matter. And I've saved all that tape and time, and now I'm moving on, and I shall be using the square other ways as well, not just as a frame, as a border. I'll be using it in conjunction with other abstract designs. This is the slim triangle, the narrower one. So this is next, starting off in the middle. Trying to keep this straight, so line it up again. Just make sure you're seeing this okay. Oh yes, I think you are. And then we are really going, or I'm going really solid now with Campfire. Crackling Campfire, really give it some welly. So loading up the brush. I'm still on a magnetic sheet, so don't need to tape down the stencil. Just be careful of these edges, that if you don't want the ink to stray, you might want to put a bit of tape on those. Look at that. Oh. Now as I'm coming down, I'm not putting so much pressure on because I want a bit of a fade out. I don't want it to be too heavy coming down. Oh, that's nice. It's a lovely colour, this, isn't it? And keep going. Just keep going. It's covering all of the white, but I'm not adding more ink. That's nice. Let's have a look. Yes, turning it round. And then I'm going to pop another one down here. I'm using the side of the card to match up with the stencil edge so that it tells me that it's straight, that the image will be straight on the card, you know, not at an angle or crooked, but although you could disguise it if it was, it wouldn't make any odds. So now I'm going over to Speckled Egg. I'm just checking the brush. Yeah. Loading it up because this pad is not very wet. I must re-ink it. And then pop that down, circular motion. Not skimming now, really grinding into the cardstock. More ink, loading up. Get some colour down. And that's another shape defined there. Now I'm just going to wipe off this stencil. I don't want it leaking underneath. I'll just check that it's clean. Yep. And now I'm going to add a few more. So talk amongst yourselves while I get on with this then. Should have some music now, shouldn't I? I'll pop this down here, I think. There's one more colour that I need. I don't know if I've got it out. I'll get it in a moment, and that would be Victorian Velvet. But I'm going to Tumbled Glass now. Again. I'm hoping to spend all day crafting today, and I'll be using these shapes and visible image stamps. I think I've mentioned that all day. I think they're going to work really well together with each other. So that's that. Just winging it. I haven't really got a design in mind. I think a little bit of orange would go over there, would be good. Again, be careful. I'm not putting too much on. Bit more down that area at the side. Give it a bit of shadow or highlight. And then I'm going to go over here. Again, orange again. And let's make sure it's straight. Line it up with the corner of the card so you know it's straight. And then I'm going to put some orange there, and then I'm going to be a little devil. I'm going to mix the two together now. Tumbled Glass and Crackling Campfire together. Nice greenish tone as it hits the bottom. Coming out of the side into the border of the card. But sort of with a fade out look. Oh yes, I'm liking this. Now I'm going to shift now. I'm going to shift colours, and I'm going to try some Victorian Velvet. I don't know why that's just come into my mind, but because it isn't on the original card, but I think that I'll give it a go. I just need to make sure these brushes are clean. So this was the one that I was using for the orange. Maybe that might be loaded too much. So this one's cleaner. I think that one will be okay. So Victorian Velvet. And then let's see how this looks. It's sort of a pinky tone now. Oh yes, that's nice. That's nice. Ooh. You know when something goes right, you think, you get excited, don't you? It's silly, silly. But you do. You know, it's either abject disappointment or your elation. Yeah, it's really daft. I don't know. Are we all like that? I think we are. Yes, nice, nice. Oh, going to use that again. This is where I overdo it now. I like a colour, and then all of a sudden that colour, it's there everywhere. All over everything I do like a rash, you know. But that's me, I'm afraid. So there we go. Keep an eye on your stencil if you're using the same one all the time, because it will bleed a bit, and this has bled a little bit underneath. I didn't wipe off the ink from the one before, so just give it a dust now and again. Now I'm not going to overdo this now. I think one more here, and I'm just going to do it in this area. And I think that's it. Okay, what do you reckon? That's not too bad, is it? Now, I've got a few little beads here of ink that's gone down over the stencil where I didn't clean it. So I'm getting my Tombow Super Rubber out, and I'm just going to lightly, because it will take the ink off, so you'll get a white strip as well if you're not careful. But I mean, you can always pretend that it's supposed to be like that and make it a bit whiter. And it's got rid of the beads of the ink that I didn't want-ish. That'll do. I think I can live with that. Yeah, it's good. That is very good. I'm liking that. So, next, yeah. Versifying Claire, Nocturne. And the stamp I'm using is, it's the Scribbled Star. There's a few of these stamps from Visible Image. They are sort of ATC size. Absolutely ideal, especially for making small cards that will go through the post, and the cheapest way that you can send them because of the size. Really nice. So that's Scribbled Star. And I'm just inking it up. Lovely quality, these stamps. Oh, I'm so looking forward to today. I haven't been able to craft for 3 or 4 days, and it's nice. The sun's back, it's stopped raining. So now I've just got to decide which way up I want this, and I think that I want, just go round, right the way round, and twist your artwork round, and it will tell you which way you should go. So that's not singing to me. That's good. That's singing. That isn't. That is. So obviously this needs to be, I think it's going to go like this. Yep. That needs to be to the side for the balance to be better. Okay. Oh, now I must have my stamp pad. Pop that on to protect it. And I need to re-ink it again because that's probably going... Oh, she's making us wait, and it's not going to work. So off we go again. And I'm just going to plonk this down in the middle-ish as much as I can. See, if it's not right in the middle, it doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Standing up, give it a good press. Firmly down. And there it is. What a gorgeous stamp that is. So now I've got a tiny little bit of ink there at the bottom. I'm not going to rub that out. It's where I had the stamp too close and some of it got into the cardstock. So all I'm going to do is make that a feature. All right? And the best way of making a feature is with dots. Well, it is for me because I can't draw. So others would doodle something really spectacular, but I don't mind doodling, but this is easy for me. So I'm just going to turn that into a feature by adding a few dots along the bottom. Look at that, it looks as if it's supposed to be there, and I think that I might shove a few over here to give the balance. And sorry I'm altering the design visible image, but needs must. Now, so that will do me. Another piece of cardstock is useful now. I'm going to pop that there. You will find that your colours will develop because they will sink into that cardstock, which mine are, and it's getting more and more vivid. It really looks good. A nice contemporary Christmas card. Now I'm getting the stamp again. And then popping it down. I've not been careful inking it up because all I want is that star in the middle. Okay, so that's all you want. So I'm going to cut this out now. Not my favourite pastime, if I'm honest. Really isn't. But what I like about this set is that this star is so easy to cut out. There we go. Mind you, it would have helped if I dried it off first. Dry it off first with your inks before you attempt to cut it out, because I've now got splodgy finger marks all over where it's all gone onto my thumb. And, well, I can't be bothered to do it again. And it hasn't gone in the middle. So it's my enthusiasm, you see. So there's my star. And that is going to go in the middle, or you can leave it as it is if you like. I mean, that is really nice. So that's going to go in the middle. But first of all, need to colour it. And again, my colouring skills are sadly lacking. So I do the bish bash bosh method, which is bish and a bit of bosh and just go for it. I'm using glossy accents in a moment. So, and because glossy accents will sort of make the colour look exactly the same, even if you shade it and colour it with all different shades of the same colour, glossy accents sort of says thank you very much, and it makes it all look the same. But anyway, I've used just some watercolour markers, not being careful, as you can see. You can use anything you like to colour it with, colouring pencils, inks, even distress inks if you want. And then I just pop that in the middle like so. I did use, if I can find it, I used some glue, stick glue, you know, the Pritt stick. Pritt stick type glue, and it was on my desk, and now it's disappeared. Typical. Oh, there it is. Right, so again, just give it a bit here, on there, like that. Stick it down, and hold it down to press it down. Now I've got a few white edges there, so I'm just filling those in with a black pen. I don't want this star to be dimensional, I want it to be flat to the card. So I haven't used pads, I've just used that Pritt stick that you saw. But you could make it dimensional if you wanted to, you know, elevate it. Oh, one of my friends, it's her birthday tomorrow, Barbara Cleggett. She makes cakes when I do my workshops. Absolutely gorgeous cakes. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Barbara. Your card isn't in the post yet, but it will be this afternoon. That's one of the things that I've got to do, make Barbara's card. Okay. I'd send you this one, Barbara, but it says Happy Christmas. I think that even I couldn't get away with that. Now, on goes two things now. Enamel Accents in black and glossy accents for the middle of this star. So I'm just going to do this first, because if I do the Enamel Accents, I will then get my hand in the black enamel and plaster it everywhere as I attempt to do this star. So I'm doing it first. Self-leveling this stuff. If you've not used it before, don't shake it. Or the Enamel Accents, don't shake those either, because you just get air bubbles in them. So this is sort of self-leveling and self-shading and effective. Right, Enamel Accents, and this will finish it off, and it will tie in with those dots that I did at the bottom to cover that deliberate mistake. So just going to see if that, yeah, that it's flowing. Then starting, I'm going to start here. 1, 2, 3, they're domed. 1, 2, 3, 4, I want them smaller now, 5. And then I'll put another lot here, I think. Let's put them up here, but I want smaller. 1, 2, 3. These are ranges, by the way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Those of you that know me well know that I use these a lot. 1, 2, 3 there. And then how many have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the sake of balance, I need one more. So I think here, where this ink has leaked a bit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wow. Yeah. Right, okay. Take that out. Put another lot in. And, oh, one thing I'd forgotten to do, oh, this is going to be fun, as long as I don't get my fingers in the Enamel Accents, is that I didn't stamp Happy Christmas. Now this, I can't remember what set I've got this from, but it is Visible Image, and I will find it and I'll add it to the post, and it just is a lovely, cheeky little font that says Merry Christmas. And there's nothing like being cheeky on a Friday. So into the Black Nocturne, Versifying Clair Black Nocturne, pop it there. Where shall I stick this now? There? No, it's got to be over here. But I've got to be careful of those dots that I've just laid down. And I want the card straight, because I'm doing it straight onto the card. Down. Pressing firmly up. Just got away with that. Or just missed those row of enamel accents there. Okay, so now you need to layer this, I believe. I mean, you can just put it on a card blank, and if you wish, and that's fine. But I think this warrants a bit of a showcase feature. This card blank that I'm using is cream, because it's the only one I have. But I've made it actually out of linen cardstock. But I really think that it could do with using the same cardstock, Paper Mill Direct Super Smooth, 300 GSM white, and I haven't got a large enough piece to cut the card blank with, because this one is 8 inches by 8 inches. I don't know what that is in centimetres. So that's it. I'm just having a look, see what that looks like. Oh, I was quite pleased with that. So just to recap, those shapes from Sweet Poppy Stencils, how many do you need? Which ones do you need? You need all of them. Okay, see you soon. I'll be back tomorrow with a Lavinia Stamps video. Thank you for the wonderful comments. Thank you for all of the interest. Thank you for the support that you give me. It's so appreciated. Stay safe, everybody. Bye for now.